Welcome back to the Exploration 101 or Introduction to Exploration. The second part of the series will cover the equipment you need for the job of starting your exploration career, and that includes skills, ships, and the modules that will help you on your way. So let's get right into that topic. So, first of all, you're going to need to make sure that you have right ship, modules, and the skills in order to get a pretty good start in the career, because starting everything in with skills on level 1 will just going to be a painful experience for you. It is better to fly a ship than just being able to sit in a ship. So before you even consider starting exploration, I would recommend trying to go into your skill catalog and go into scanning and get the basic skills up before you go there, so that you have a way better experience and can get better results in the first attempts you're gonna have. And what are the skills that you are going to need? First of all, astrometric range finding. That gives you a flat 5% increase in scan probe strength per level. Getting that to level 2 or 3 at first would be perfect, so that you can get a little bit more from the modules you are going to be using. The astrometric acquisition and pinpointing. Acquisition gives you a reduction in scan probe scan time, which is a quality of life improvement because you will be able to do more scans in the same amount of time. And pinpointing just makes sure that the signatures are going to be flying around less when you try to scan them. But in general, those are secondary. Astrometrics, having like 1 or 2 level here would also be great, as it gives you all 3 of those things, but it will of course take more skill points to get through. So you can start with the range finding, a little bit of astrometrics, and then put those 2 guys here on the cooker for later. And then you have hacking as well as archaeology. Hacking gives you the possibility to start the data site scanning, hacking, while archaeology does the same thing for relic sites. And this gives you 10 virus coherence per level, which is your HP in the hacking minigame. I would, if you want to start in high sec in a safe environment, I would advise to maybe go more into hacking, get this to 3 first, and then go to archaeology. That is because archaeology used to be the way to go, as relic sites were way better and had the higher highs. But in high sec, with recent changes from CCP, hacking and the data sites might be better, because data sites have received certain buffs to the types and amount of loot that they drop, and they, in high sec at least, are becoming way better than relic sites. For low sec, null sec and wormholes, relic sites are still the way to go. So you need to adjust your skills, of course, for the type of content you are trying to get into immediately. Of course, other skills to consider are the Magic 14, which is the set of skills that affects every single ship you fly. So your HP, your agility, and so on. And I do recommend checking it out on EveWiki to see the Magic 14 and see how much of it you still need to train into. Second thing we are going to talk about is the ships. Let me use the channel I have here for some examples. At entry level, it's recommended you begin with something very cheap, and every Empire faction offers 1 exploration frigate with identical skill bonuses, but they just have minor differences in statistics. All of the ships give bonuses to your core probe scanner, as well as 5% to your virus strength, which affects how much damage you deal in the hacking minigame. So, first of all, we have a Caldari Heron. 5 mid slots for a lot of utility. So it can be used to push your scan strength way higher, but only 2 low slots. So it might suffer from some problems with align time, for example. Second of them is the Magnate, coming from a Mars line of ships. It has 4 low slots that give you possibility to either lower your align time a bit or tank a little bit more when you go through some signs that give you some hazards. And then you have 3 hide slots, so not a lot of utility there, but for some people it might be enough to start just hacking without any other bonuses. As you can see, those ships with all of the fit start at pretty low levels, so 1.2, 1.6 million, which for newbie might not be very small amount. However, it will be affordable to start with that. Third, there is the ship that I learned exploration on, the Imicus. 1.5 million with this fit. You have 4 mid slots, so you can put a little bit of utility and 3 low slots, and it is the only ship that has the 20 megabit per second drone bandwidth, so it can actually launch 4 light drones, making it the best drone boat out of the exploration frigates. And last but not least, there is a probe from the Minmatar Republic, and it has again 4 mid slots, 3 low slots, and this ship is the one that has the lowest align time passively, because Minmatar ships in general do have lower align times before you apply any modules. As you progress and get more experience, you might want to move into Astro, very popular ship. However, there are 2 ways to go about things in Eve. You either train the skills or you throw more ISK at something. So this ship, while it does have better results than regular tier 1 frigates, it does also cost way more. So you have to be very careful, because it will be way tougher to get that ISK back during exploration. And also you will of course get better results with it. However, you might get attacked in low signals more, because people will see this as a more blingy target. However, if you do not want to throw ISK at it, but train more skills, the things you need to get into is the covert ops frigates. Those frigates will in general have better results than the Astro. However, they cost way less. As you can see, 39 million for fit of a Helios, and other ships from other factions are the Buzzard, Anathema and Cheetah. And if you train into covert ops and get that skill to 4, you will get better result scanning than you would get ever with an Astro. And last but not least, let's talk about the modules you will be using, because you've seen all this thing that here on the screen, but you would also need to know what those things do. So first of all, we have the data and relic analyzers. As I mentioned before, relic analyzer is used to hack cans in the relic sites, data analyzer in data sites, of course. Then we have a probe launcher. Core probe launcher is what you use to load probes that then are released into the system and that you use in order to scan signatures down and pinpoint them so you can get into them and get to your job. And those use probes, scanner probes. At first you can use core probes ones, which I do recommend. Once you need a little bit more boost, I would recommend going with sisters core probes as an upgrade that gives you a little bit more edge in order to scan things down. The launcher itself comes in tier 1 variant. If you really want to go up with your scan strength, you might want to go with the Faction 1 Sisters Core Probe Launcher. However, it does cost a little bit more. It costs around 25 million at the time of recording this. So for a very cheap exploration frigate, it is a very expensive module. So I would recommend, if needed, go with Core Probe Launcher 1 and then sister probes. Okay, next things that we have here is, of course, a cloaking device. Tier 1 exploration frigate cannot use a covert ops one that allows you to warp around cloaked, but you can use a prototype or improved cloaking device if you are Omega only. Alpha players cannot use cloaking, unfortunately. But that cloaking device allows you to, as I will show you here, cloak up, and then nobody can see me exactly in the system, making me safer whenever I go into the lower security areas. And then we have 3 types of arrays. Just like we had 3 types of skills for scanning, we have 3 types of arrays that help you push those things further. There is the scan range finding array, which will increase the scan strength, so we can throw that into your mid slots in order to increase the scan bonus by 5%. Then we have the scan pinpointing array that gives you 10% deviation, so as I mentioned previously, the signature will be running around less. And then you have the scan acquisition array, which shortens the time that your probes need in order to finish the scanning. And then the next thing you can also put on your ship is a small emission scope sharpener, a rig that you can put to increase your relic module efficiency, or a small memetic algorithm bank, which does the same for your data modules. They basically give you a little bit more HP in the minigame. And lastly, there is one more that I think I just forgot about. No, that's not the one. Signal focusing kit. Is that the one? No. Gravity capacitor upgrade. This increases your scan probe strength. So instead of just using mid slots, you can also put one in your rigs, which gives you 10% bonus as well. And that is going to be it when it comes to all the equipment, skills, and ships you will need in order to start exploring New Eden. And I will see you in the next part. Thank you.